What's up guys, Alex from FIFA Scouting Tips here, and welcome to Season 2 Episode 5 of Pompey Youth Stars. Just before I get started, I want to say the Scouting Gold contest is still going on this month, and it is on fastest players. So far we've had an absolute ton of amazing players, and don't forget also that regens can be submitted as well, so it's not just youth players this month, it can also be regens as long as they're 20 years old or younger. All the details about submitting your entries for that will be at the end of this video, so stick around for that. But first of all, we have this match against Bolton in the Championship. I've decided I'm going to play important games and sim the less important ones, and if you look at the table on the right hand side, they're in 6th place and we're in 4th, so it's a pretty close thing at the moment, so I'm going to be playing this game, and let's see how we get on. So Bolton were the first to come out with an attack going down the wing and crossing it in. Really powerful header, but they couldn't keep it down. But it was just an early warning sign to me that they meant business and they were going to attack. But we responded in kind. Bong using his fantastic pace to get away from the defender. Unfortunately, the shot was straight at the goalkeeper and they managed to clear. But we weren't going out without a fight. We wanted to attack as well. And that paid off shortly after. Another good ball through and Bong again getting away from the defender, this time putting it into the back of the net. You can always rely on that pace going forward. He's got enough with him to get away from the defenders and a good enough finish to put away his chances when he gets the opportunity. So that was us 1-0 up early on against a very good side. I was feeling hopeful at this point. Bong on 7 goals now, what a fantastic player he's been so far. But Bolton weren't giving up. They came straight back with a load of shots against me. They really wanted to get back into the game, constantly peppering the goal with shots. They didn't manage to put that one away, but that was a very close effort, and I was a bit worried by this point. It was pretty much backs to the wall, and came in at half-time 1-0 up. Pretty relieved really that they hadn't managed to find the back of the net, because they had 4 shots completely dominating me in possession. They hadn't managed to get any on target, but like I said, it was kind of backs against the wall at this point. I was just holding on for 1-0 and just trying to see out the match without conceding any goals. I was quite happy with just the 1 goal for myself. But then we came out the blocks first in the second half. Bong heading it down to Paul, fantastic control, but he just dragged his shot wide there. That would have really settled my nerves, getting us up to 2-0. But it wasn't to be. It was a decent effort, and he controlled it well in a tight space. But at that point, I was, like I said, just happy for 1-0. But Lodigan using his fantastic pace down the wing, a clear handball, and then he blazed the other attempt well wide. But I was kind of regretting not having handballs turned on at that point, because that was about as obvious as they get. But it wasn't to be, because shortly after we made amends, Bong playing it through to Pender, unmarked in the middle of the box, and he slotted that one home. I brought him on in the middle of midfield rather than on the wing, and it was a surging run from central midfield that got him away from a defender and found himself in a bit of space to stroke that one home. So that was 2-0. I was feeling much better by this point. The game was nearly over. But if you look at the goalkeeper, he practically dived out the way of it. When I looked at the replay, I felt very lucky that I'd actually managed to score that one. But I wasn't going to complain, Pender pulling a bit of a weird face, but whatever. It was 2-0, and that was about all there was time for in the game. So I was really happy with that result. Bolton are a very good team, and I could easily have lost that with the amount of shots they had early on. But in the second half, they just didn't really get going. They didn't have any more shots at all. Whereas on the other hand, I came out with loads of shots, peppering their goal this time. It was really a tale of 2 different halves. First half I was completely under the cosh, but I turned that around in the second half, managed to get some good attempts on target and make it 2-0. Bong with the amazing 8.4 rating went home as man of the match, but we had some good performances elsewhere. Central midfield and all through the defence we had some solid performances. It was only really the wingers who didn't shine, so based on that I think we really deserved to win, and so I was very happy with 2-0. So straight after that great game, we have this scouting update from Murphin, and let's see who he's got. It's just one player this time, and it is Jordi Lukoki, 60 to 82. No, he's not good enough, I don't think. So that was a bit of a disappointing report, really, only 1 player. But we do have this other message from Yuri Lodigan asking for a wage increase, so let's go see how much he wants. Right, he is currently on £1,250 a week, and he wants to boost it up to £2,000. That's really not a big increase, only £750. And also, if you have a look in the top right, we have £28,000 in wages after selling a load of players, so we can easily afford that. So let's just go add that on there, and hopefully he will now accept that. So I've just had this message in saying that we have a few players leaving on international duty. Annoyingly, it means that they're going to miss a game against Nottingham Forest. So it's Paulett, Doherty and Bong, 3 of my best players, going to be missing that game. So a little bit annoying. but it does happen. So a match against Watford, I'm going to sim this one because they're not too close to us in the league, so we can afford to just sim it rather than actually playing it because it will help us get through the season a bit quicker. And we lose 2-1, that's pretty disappointing. We should really have won that game, but there you go. Right, great news. Lodigan has accepted that contract, so he's going to be sticking with us for a bit longer and a bit happier with his wage as well. Right, we have a heavily depleted team against Nottingham Forest. We have those 3 players away on international duty, and we've also got a player, Bovager, is suspended for picking up too many yellow cards. So we have a bare bones squad, but we managed to win 2-1, and we do have an injury to East though, so that's a bit annoying, but we get the win, which is really important, especially because it's away from home. So let's have a look. Oh, he's only out for 2 days, that's okay. A bruised elbow, that's nothing. So we take the really good result, and we don't need to worry about the injury either. Okay, we'll move swiftly on to this next game against Blackburn. Again, I'm going to sim it because they're not really very close to us. They're quite far down the table, so we can afford to sim this one. And we get a 1-1 draw, so not a great result, but we almost won it. They only equalised in the last minute almost. So we keep going. That's not too bad a result. Right, time for 2 more scouting updates. One from Lee, and he is in Canada. And we have Louis Beland-Goyet, 48 to 66 potential, definitely turning him down. Nana Gagnon Lapare, these are some great names by the way, 53 to 73, nope. Patrice Adekugbe, 60 to 78 after 2 months, I don't think that's good enough, so he'll get turned down as well. And then finally, Robert Nakajima Farron, 58 to 78, so another player not good enough. Disappointing report on that one. But we do have Demidov in England, and we've got Dean Jones, 56 to 78, again turning him down. Mitchell Roberts, 55 to 73, another goalkeeper, also being turned down. Ravel Ward, 60 to 82, again just not good enough. And then finally, come on, please be a good player. Ryan Green, 66 to 90, that is not bad. And look at that, he is 6'7". Looks like he could well be a central midfielder perhaps, with amazing potential. So I'm definitely signing up a player like that. He is going to be a monster. So we'll sign him up, and that was a pretty decent report. Okay, steaming on to the next match, we're against Cardiff, and they are, again, a little way down the league, so I want to sim this one to get it out of the way quickly. We're away from home, so it could be tough, and we get a 0-0 draw, so not amazing, but again, like I said, it's away from home, and when you sim, it's always difficult to win away from home, so it's not too bad. Okay, so first of the month, and that means report time. So up first we have Doherty, 76, always looking awesome. Then we have David Brown, the other goalkeeper. He's now gone up 4 points, and it's only in December. 4 points up to 67. What an incredible player this guy looks. Amazing growth all round to his goalkeeper stats. He looks fantastic. Liam Osborne, 63. Then Emerick Bovager up to 65, looking like a really good centre-back now. 77 heading. Hopefully he's going to score some good headers for me. Then Paddy Malloy up 3 points to 59. One more point, we get to find out whether he has a status, like showing great potential, that kind of thing. So looking forward to that. Brad Knight stuck on 64, it seems. A little bit annoying. Hopefully he'll start soon. Joe Hayes though up to 58 finally. He's grown loads in stats, but has only just gone up 1 point, which is a bit annoying. Then Sobby, 67, 78 short passing, fantastic passer for me. Quinton, 69, even better, 83 short passing, what a player. Mathis is now 62, and then we have Smith on 61. Those two growing quite slowly really. Robson is 63, looking like a really good striker. And Paul at 76, again another just unbelievable player. Then we have Bong up to 70, and he has scored 9 goals in 18 matches, one every other game. Really good return for me, and a couple of assists as well, so that's not bad either. And then we have Lodigan up to 65, just look how fast he is. My fastest player, and he's not even a real player either. 84 sprint speed, that is amazing. Then we have Michael Pender on 70 at just 17 years old. Then Abdel Hamid, 65 up 2 points, and Gurasi, 65 up 3 points. Really good attacking player he is. And then we get onto the real players who've grown a few points each. So then we are now onto the loaned players. Hickford, again growing quite slowly this month. Hopefully that'll start to pick up quite soon. Curtis Simpson on 51 plus 2 points. And Pimentel, as usual, not growing. I think he's just going to have to be sold because he's not growing at all. He just seems to be stuck on 60 completely. So that's just no use to me at all. And then Mitsuharu Paulo Daniel, 63 up 2 points. And then we're back to the start. So some decent growth in there. A couple of players seem to be stalling, which is really disappointing. So they might have to be moved on in January in about a month's time. Right, Brad Knight tells me that he wants to increase his wages, and I think he will be on £500, so let's see what he wants it boosted up to. Okay, my mistake, he was actually on £1,000, but he wants it put up to £2,000. As with Lodigan, that's not a huge increase, and I can definitely afford it, so it's worth doing it to keep him on board. So I will do that, and hopefully he'll accept that and remain happy with his position. So up next we have this league game against Birmingham, and if we have a quick look at the table, we can see that they're in 4th and we are in 5th place, so only 1 point behind them. So it's a pretty important game and I want to try and win it, so I will be playing this game instead of simming it, so let's see how we do. We started brightly, a shot early on from Bong, dragging it wide, but I was going out to try and win this game, try and start on the front foot. Shortly after we had a corner as well, Paulett somehow winning the header, but it was straight at the keeper, so I was a little disappointed that I didn't work the keeper harder there. Good opportunity, but again another massive Bong hit after the last game. Bong getting a huge elbow in the face there. I don't know what it is about him, but he seems to be a marked man, getting hits every single game. But then he picked himself up, came through on goal, but their defence was so well organised in this game, I just couldn't get through. Every time I came through on attack, I got tackled. I had to resort to shooting from distance like this because it seemed to be the only way I could get through on goal. Their defence was so compact, they were just having 2 defenders on all my attackers every time I came forward, and it seemed like they were just sitting back and trying to absorb my attacks. As you can see, they didn't have any shots at all. I had 4. I was completely dominating them by this point, but I just could not break through that defence. They were so good, and just sitting back and taking my attacks, which was kind of frustrating really, but they came out in the second half, and that was about as far as their attacks got. They weren't really particularly good attacks, and then every time Bong came through, again just mopped up by the defence. They seemed to just have everything covered, and so it was quite a frustrating game. I could not break through at all, and when they did come forward, they just blazed their shots over. They weren't particularly good. Not sure if you saw what Alex Winter did just then. A little replay there, not sure what that was all about, but late on they had a pretty weak header, but I would have been so disappointed if they'd won it with that, because they really didn't deserve it. I was all over them all game, but I just could not break them down, so it ended 0-0, which is pretty frustrating really. At the end of the day, I really felt like I should have won that one. I had a bit more possession than I usually do in the games. I was taking my time, had plenty of shots on goal, and they only had 1 on target. They really were not going out for the win. So I really felt I should have won that one. Didn't have very many great performances though, only Paulett really with a 7.5 rating. So in the end of the day, a 0-0 draw, it's not bad, but it could really have been better. Okay, after that tough game, we have a scouting report from Murphin, and we have Danny Bower, 46 to 64 potential, definitely not. Mick Brukers, 49 to 69, another really bad player, and please can this be a good one? No, it's not. We have Rick Duarte, 53 to 73, another really disappointing report from the Netherlands. So just before we go, let's have a look at our youth academy. We have Danny Corrie, 75 to 81 potential, around about 78, physically strong defender, so he should be a really useful addition to the team. Then Keaton Nichols, 72 to 80 potential, a playmaker in central midfield. Hopefully he won't turn out like playmakers used to on FIFA, where the mental stats are amazing but everything else is rubbish. Hopefully he'll actually be a half decent player. Then we have Levet Goncalves, 71 to 75 defensive minded fullback. That means he's going to be slow, so we're going to have yet another fullback who actually plays at centre back. May end up getting rid of him because of that quite low potential. Then Martin DeWitt, 73 to 81, another central midfield playmaker. Then Michael Coyne, 74 to 80, physically strong striker. He looks like he could be really good. A bit of a different striker to someone like Bong. Hopefully he'll be more in the mould of Robson, should be pretty good. And then Ryan Green, 71 to 91, looking amazing. This is that 6'7" giant of a player. He is going to be incredible. Can't wait to see how he turns out. And then finally, Shuttleworth for Tannen, 71 to 75, central midfield playmaker. Seems like his passing is okay though, so hopefully he's not just based around mental stats. So that is how the academy is looking. If you think I should get rid of anyone, let me know in the comments, and I'll look into that. And we're doing some scouting, so we'll have some new players in the academy soon as well. Okay, that's all I've got time for today, so I will leave it here. Don't forget, if you want to enter the Scouting Gold contest, it is on fastest players, and like I said earlier, it doesn't have to just be youth players, it can be regens as well, as long as they're aged 20 or under. So if you want to enter that, make sure you take a picture of your fastest player, youth or regen player, then you can leave a link to the picture in the comments below, or you can submit it on Twitter. It's at FIFA Scouting using the hashtag ScoutingGod, or you can submit it on Facebook as well, which is facebook.com/FIFA Scouting Tips, or you can even submit the image on fifascoutingtips.com. I've also got loads of guides and tutorials, all that kind of really good stuff up on there, so check those out too. Make sure you send all your comments and feedback to me. I really want to know what you're thinking, how you want me to improve this. I'm always trying to do better at what I do on these videos, so keep all your comments coming. Really looking forward to reading those. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed this video as well, and thanks for watching.